Okay, so All-Star voting is now live. It's been live since May 31st and goes until June 22nd. Today, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be giving you my sleeper All-Star picks. It's going to be kind of a series. I'm going to do my sleeper picks today. In a few days, maybe 20th or 21st, somewhere around there, do our legit All-Star picks. And then when Phase 2 rolls around, sometime in those 4 days, I'll vote for the starters. But let's go ahead and do our sleeper picks today. So in the American League, I'm just going to kind of talk through some of these guys that I think, and then we'll eventually pick our guys. Jose Abreu not really having the best year. He's kind of heated up a little bit lately. But Costas, I like Costas, but you really can't be an all-star with those numbers. Yandy Diaz would probably be the smart pick here. We're going for sleepers. 943 OPS, 311 average. He's been great. I really like Ty France. He's definitely a candidate. Gallo, it's nukes, but only a 193 average. Vladdy, I mean, he's Vladdy. A lot of people are going to pick him. Nate Lowe, also very good, very sneaky player. Mountcastle's been decent. Kind of a low OPS. Thought he had higher than that, though. Naylor has been getting kind of unlucky. Noda playing on a bad team, but he's been very good. Pasquantino's injured for the year. We can't pick him. Rizzo, I mean, he's been all right. Torkelson's definitely heated up lately. He had to torch my Braves. And then Vaughn and Walsh. I think the pick here is probably Nate Lowe. Nate Lowe as a sleeper guy, 793 OPS on the year. 8 homers, 40 RBIs. He plays good defense for that Texas team. He's a vital part. I don't know. I mean, I think they'd still be good without him, but I think he definitely contributes a lot to that Rangers team. And a 275 average as well, Nate Lowe. I mean, I think he should be in the All-Star game. A first-time guy as well, I believe. Going internationally, I'm not going to talk through everybody, just kind of the guys that could make it. Pete Alonso, obviously, he's hit 22 homers. I believe he's hurt right now. Got pegged by the Braves, but after saying throw it again to Bryce Elder. But speaking of pitchers, it would be kind of fun to put pitchers for the All-Star game, but that's up to the managers. But 231 average, 872 OPS, definitely solid numbers for first base. CJ Cron's another guy that I like, but he's hurt right now. Freddie Freeman is insane. Paul Goldschmidt is putting up another decent season. Matt Olson hits tanks. Spencer Steer. Spencer Steer's a guy to watch out for. He's been actually playing pretty well. Rowdy Tellez has been good. So has Lamont Wade Jr. Christian Walker's been decent. Probably the guy here is Matt Olson, and that's just I'm not saying that because I'm a Braves fan. Also, Christian Walker's another guy. I wish he would be getting more votes. Christian Walker is like a very good first baseman. He's very underrated in my opinion. Moving on to second base in the American League, not a lot here. Altuve is just coming back from injury, but he's not been great. Caballero's a decent story. Drury, he's been all right. Jimenez has not lived up to what he did last year. Lowe is hurt. McKinstry's been okay. 2-hit wit, good average and everything. You really can't even go with a sleeper here. I would say this is you can't. There's nobody else here besides Simeon. You really can't go with anyone else here. It's the only guy. Over to the National League now. This one's more interesting. Ozzy Albies is a Brave, but he's not. He's doing all right. Arise only one homer, but 892 OPS. You know all about the 400. He's dropped off quite a bit in the last week. But this is sleepers. Tyro Estrada has put up a great season so far. G1 Bay has also stolen quite a few bases. Nolan Gorman's having an outstanding season so far for the Cardinals. Tel Marte, Nico Horner. There's a lot of guys I want to pick here. Miguel Vargas having a decent season. I'm going to go with Ketel Marte. Well, Nico Horner is like my favorite player in all of baseball. I think he does deserve to be an all-star at some point. I don't know if it's this year. He's been hitting kind of slow as of late, but maybe if he revs it up in the next week. Ketel Marte, I believe he's 7th in the votes in second base right now. So underrated. 283 average, 10 homers, 29 RBIs, 841 ops. He's becoming his old self again. And Ketel Marte was scary back in, I believe, 2019, back in those years. Ketel Marte should definitely be in the All-Star game, no questions asked. I get that probably Luis Ariz is definitely going to start, and Ozzy Albies is getting more votes than him, but Ketel Marte should really be an All-Star. Over to third base in the AL. Matt Chapman had a great first month. Has definitely cooled off since then. Devers is playing all right, but he has 17 homers. Josh Young has been great for the Rangers. Paredes has been a vital part of that Rays team. You know all about Jose Ramirez. For this one, though, I've been picking him a lot. Rafael Devers is my guy. 247 averages in the great, but 17 homers. He's still leading, I think. Yeah, he's leading all third basemen in homers. Has a good OPS. 56 RBIs is otherworldly at this point of the season. Um, yeah, Rafael Devers. I still think he's underrated. Third base in the National League now. Arenado started to heat up. Brett Beatty, well, not so good. I don't even know why I mentioned him, but a guy to watch out for on the All-Star games in the future. Candelario's been okay. J.D. Davis is a guy a lot of people are picking. He's been pretty good. Brian Hayes has heated up recently. So is Machado. He's coming off the injury. McMahon's been good. Muncie's been good. Well, except for the 191 average. He's hitting tanks. Austin Riley's been all right. I'll avoid the Braves bias and I won't pick him. The guy I'm going to go with here, man, this is a tough one. I'm probably going to go with Ryan McMahon. Ryan McMahon is a guy, high OPS. The average is decent. On that Colorado team, he's probably their best player right now. I mean, Ryan McMahon's putting up a pretty solid season. Now, over to shortstop. I love Tim Anderson, Alabama kid, but no homers. 586 ops, not going to work. I'm not going to swing in the other strike zone and pick Javi Baez. The Shed has been very, very good. But this is sleepers. Same thing with Franco. Franco has been just outrageous. Jorge Mateo has died off quite a bit since the beginning of the season. Neto is hurt, but again, that's if you want to pick for Zach Neto, I'm not blaming you. Zach Neto has been terrific so far this year. Corey Seager has been great. Bobby Witt Jr. Yeah, that's who I'm gonna pick. Bobby Witt Jr. Just no one's talking about him. 707 OPS. I get he was like the number one prospect in baseball last year, but 707 OPS is not the greatest. 11 homers, 244 average, but the underlying stats are a lot better. He's definitely gonna figure it out in the next part of the season. Bobby Witt Jr. is my pick here. And then over the National League, pretty tough right here. I think C.J. Abrams definitely has that potential, but he's not there yet. Arcia, I know a lot of people have been picking Arcia. I like Arcia. He's a Brave. I still don't know how good he really is. Bogarts has been playing all right. DeYoung had that hot stretch. Lindor's not playing so well. McLean has been good, but he hasn't played very much. Perdomo is one of my favorite players. I do like Ezekiel Tovar. I could pick Trey Turner here, but 696 OPS just isn't very good. Ezekiel Tovar is tempting, but I'm going to go with Geraldo Perdomo. Geraldo Perdomo is one of my favorite players. I thought he was going to break out going into this year. Oh, I didn't mean to hit them. And he did. I always thought he was kind of a guy, had a good bat, and okay, he hadn't really shown it in the major leagues, has a good glove. And this year he's really put it together. He's been a little bit slower for the last month, but an 880 OPS, 299 average, has a few homers, has a few stolen bases. He doesn't really play against lefties, but he's been a very core piece on that Diamondbacks team so far this year. Now going to catcher, the American League catcher, there's not a whole lot of options. Grandal's been meh. Same thing with Alejandro Kirk. Jonah Heim has been amazing, except for about the last month. I still wish the Braves hadn't gotten rid of Shea Langoliers. Perez is still doing his thing. Cal Raleigh's been okay. Adley has been very, very good. But I think here I'm going to pick Salvador Perez. Everyone's talking about mostly Heim and Rutschman. Perez is still being a very solid player out in Kansas City. They said they were going to trade him, so he's probably not going to be on a good team for a couple years unless he leaves in free agency. I'm not really sure when his contract ends. But 816 OPS, 14 homers from the catcher position. Very, very good for Salvador Perez. Going to the National League, Bart got option. Alvarez has been playing pretty well, but that's not going to be my pick. The Contreras brothers have been all right, but nothing really special. Elias Diaz couldn't hit water out of a bucket until this year, and he's been actually playing pretty well. Another homer last night. Gabriel Moreno, I think, is going to break out next year, but he hasn't been all that great this year. Still very young, though. Murphy is the guy that's probably going to get the nod, and I want Murphy to get the nod, but he's the favorite. The guy I'm probably going to go with here is not even going to be expected. K-Bear Ruiz. K-Bear Ruiz, I looked on Baseball Savant earlier. He has been pretty much the unluckiest player in baseball. I think he has the worst like slugging minus expected slugging. Same thing with on base percentage and all that. K-Bear Ruiz should have a lot better numbers than he does, and he even has 8 homers and 27 RBIs. It's not horrible on a last place Nationals team. K-Bear Ruiz is a guy who I think really could break out even this year and the rest of the year or the next year. He's going to be a stud in that Nationals lineup for many, many years. And now going to the outfield, the hardest part. Yordan Alvarez is hurt, so I'm not going to vote for him. Randy Arozarena has been great. Um, let's see, going down the list. Ezekiel Duran has been decent. I'm going to go ahead and vote Randy. Well, we'll wait. Adolis Garcia has been pretty good as well. Same thing, Austin Hayes, actually. I'm going to sort this by OPS real quick. We'll go from the bottom up. Just see what we got. Again, none of these guys. Probably Estuary Ruiz is worth mentioning. MJ Melendez, I still think could break out at some point. Akil Badu's fun. Fuzzy's guy. Dalton Varsho's a guy I like, but not having the greatest year. J-Rod, kind of the same thing. Keep going up the list, though. Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker's really good. 805 OPS. Kind of was in a slump at the beginning, but he's kind of breaking out of it now. I think he's going to have a monster second half. Kiermaier's a guy a lot of people are voting for. The defense is there, but only 4 homers, 287 average. Isn't great for a guy with almost no pop. I mean, he does have pop, 4 homers, but I don't know. I'm not really on the Kiermaier train. Kellenic, I like Kellenic. Kellenic's a guy that he's slowed down a little bit, but I really liked Kellenic's potential. Obviously he has slowed down. I think he can still rev it back up. And then Josh Lowe. Ooh, Josh Lowe's been a guy that's been very good. And Luis Robert. For right now, Judge is hurt, and these are sleeper picks. Luis Robert is one of my guys. Luis Robert, no one's talking about him. He's been very, very, very good this year. Mullins is hurt, or else I would vote for him. Another sleeper guy, Kellenic. We've already talked about him. And then I'm going to go Kyle Tucker. No one's really voting for him a lot. We'll go Tucker there. On to the National League now. Again, it's a sleeper. It's very tempting not to pick Ronald Acuna. Tatis, again, Betts, Sawinski. Let's actually go for the bottom again. None of these guys are probably getting votes. Michael Harris is a guy that definitely could. I think he's in like the top. I think he's in a spot to get a vote right now or to go on to the next phase, but he hasn't been great. Just kind of popularity. All he has been crazy over the last week. Dog, I do like Joey Weimer. Jazz is hurt, but he's Jazz. He's fun. Let's see. Brian De La Cruz could legitimately get a vote. We'll save it. The hitting guru taught Jason Hayward apparently too, just like they did JD Martinez. Christian Yelich is the first guy I'm going to vote for. Christian Yelich been having a great year, been stealing a lot of bases. I think he's on pace for like a 20-30 season. He's kind of bounced back. Excuse me. He's kind of bounced back a little bit. 791 OPS. He's been pretty good. Going up the list some more. Ozuna. Brandon Nimmo is a solid guy. Brian Reynolds is another guy. Brian Reynolds, 818 OPS, 7 homers. He can switch hit. He's Pittsburgh star. I really like Brian Reynolds. I think he brings a lot to that game for Pittsburgh, and he's one of like the best outfielders in baseball. Castellanos has had a nice bounce back here. Sawinski's another guy that's been very good. And you know what? Forget it. How can you pick sleepers when Ronald Acuna is sitting here doing this? I don't really have another pick. We're using it on Ronald. Again, now we go to the DH. Shohei Ohtani's the favorite here. Jake Berger, man. Oh, Jake Berger's been good. But Pollock, Cabrera. There's some good ones here. I'm gonna vote on Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton has slowed down over the last month. He's just fun. He's Byron Buxton. He plays the game so well. He has great defense. Obviously, he's having to DH this year because of the injuries, but he hits balls miles and miles. He's so good. Now, on to the National League. Obviously, Votto's hurt. Winker is also hurt. Vogelback has not been playing well. Burleson's a guy that started off hot. I think he can be a solid piece of that St. Louis outfield, along with Jordan Walker and Tyler O'Neill. Chuck Nasty's a guy I voted for before, but I mean, he's Chuck Nasty. How can you not vote for him? Oh, I did not mean to vote for him that time though. Harper again, one of the favorites. Martinez, one of the favorites. So is Soler. Um, I'm gonna vote for Andrew McCutchen. Why not? McCutchen's had a bounce back year. Jock Peterson's also another guy that I wouldn't mind it. But there we go. That is our sleeper picks for the All-Star in the American League. Nate Lowe, Marcus Semien, Rafael Devers, Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Luis Robert, Jared Kelenic, Kyle Tucker, Byron Buxton. In the National League, Andrew McCutchen, Christian Yelich, Brian Reynolds, Ronald Acuna Jr., K-Barry Ruiz, Geraldo Perdomo, Ryan McMahon, Ketel Marte, and Matt Olson. So let me know what you think about this video. Put in the comments other guys you think are very underrated or slept on that should make the All-Star team. Hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video about my All-Star picks.